What's crack-a-lackin', folks? It's Monster Chappie, and today we're going to be looking at another tip on how to stop one of the more popular plays or schemes or whatever you want to call it. And today we're going to be looking at this play on the right side of the screen, which is the FL screen. If you don't know how to run it, I'll go ahead and show you how to do it. But, you know, this is the basic idea. You take a wide receiver screen and you go ahead and, you know, you do something different. But the whole logic here is to basically create a really quick screen for the halfback where you can just dump it off real quick, get a bunch of blockers out there, and go ahead and take off. And I'm going to go see if the Rams have a faster running back. Usually folks do this with like the Niners. You have a Gore or somebody else. Let's go ahead and just put Pete there, just so we got a lot of speed so we can really see, you know, the separation of speed and things like that, because speed is pretty big deal here, just because you want to get out there right away. But yeah, that's the whole idea, is this FL screen. And you know, you get all these blockers, you got like a bunch of lead blockers, and if they're blitzing, you know, it's going to beat the blitz obviously because it's very fast. It's a screen, it's meant to beat blitzes. You know, screens are usually designed for going against the blitz. You know, if you play straight man, which I'm going to go ahead and do right here, which is just a two-man under. You can even move this guy over here, and it's still going to leave us with more blockers than defenders for the most part. You know, and it's just too big of a play, too much risk. So we definitely need to be able to disguise this. And then one of the more, what most people do with this is they'll come out in a different play and they'll run hurry up on you, hurry up, and then they'll just go ahead and sneak this in there, you know, really quickly, try to get to the line and hurry up and boom, get it out there. So you're not really ready for it, you know. So that's the other thing to keep in mind with this. So you're not going to usually have all day to set up, because the setup is so quick. It's literally just moving him and changing Amendola to a streak or a fade. And then some guys will put Mulligan on a streak or leave him blocking as is. So the two variations we're going to look at is one with Mulligan blocking, and then the other, well, let's just call him the tight end, with him on a streak. Now, I talked about this last time. There's a bunch of different stuff they could do with the guys on the left side, but if we really go into, you know, them putting a motion fade here and doing this or doing that, it's really just going to be too much to try to cover in one video. You know, you'll have to make different adjustments for those accordingly. But for the most part, though, if you know, we're just going to look at how to slow down the FL screen itself, which is our priority here in this video. And then the second setup that we're going to look at is if they streak that tight end, because the easiest thing to do to stop the FL screen would be to take, you know, say this guy Jackson and just run over there, go ahead and make a play on the ball. But if they streak the tight end, that's going to become a problem. So, you know, we're just going to look at the two different versions and a couple ways we can stop them. This is getting weird, trying to work this with two controls. So I'm losing track of which one's offense and defense here. But again, go ahead and throw that out there. You know, you get out there with the user defender and you're good. So the first way we're going to stop this, and the best way I think to stop this, is to user it. It's the safest, most sure way to stop it, to slow it down, or whatever you want to say. In my eyes, it is the best way to slow it down. And the reason being is because the way the blocks develop, if you can beat these linemen, the guard and the tackle, and in this case the tight end, to the outside, you could actually loop around and just tackle the running back. So what you're going to see here is just looping around, you know, and forcing them back inside. And this time he actually picked up a good game. So another thing we're going to want to do is I like to put sheared on the contain and then user it. So the best thing is going to be usering, and then the contain's going to help out a lot too as well. So, you know, if you know it's coming, you know they're bringing it, all you got to do is contain. If you're in man, contain, user the running back, and you'll go ahead and lock it down. Forgot to set it up that time. How silly. But here we go. Go ahead and put this contain here. Now, the thing I like about this contain against most screens usually is that it will sometimes pick it off, and it will sometimes deflect the pass, and it will sometimes hit the guy in the backfield. But the only problem is with this particular screen, if they wait long enough and just wait for it, you know, they can still make that pass. They just have to wait a little bit longer. So you're definitely going to need to still get to the outside of the field. But if they do try to throw it right away, and you've got that contain there, like so, you know, it just congests the area a little bit more. It takes away that cutback lane. So if we got, you know, this defensive end here, he tries to make a play, this contain, nobody blocks him, and if he cuts back, he's going to make a play on the ball, whereas if he wasn't on a contain, you would have this entire area or lane right here that you could work with and cut back, and it would just take too long for him to make a play on the ball. So you'd have all this cutback room right here. So that's what the contain is going to help with, and then you still got these players on the outside. So, you know, your job, if you have that contain, is going to be covering the outside and forcing them back into the contain. And what we're going to do here is just put him in a flat, and hopefully he'll play that outside how he should. And as you can see there, that's going to lock it down. So, you know, flat zones can be very effective against this, because flat zones usually will just chill on the outside. And what I mean by that is how we want to use it, again, is to go through the outside and force them back in. So if we have a flat zone, this flat zone is actually going to play that running back after he tries to jam up there. So, you know, he's already on the outside. The blockers don't have the opportunity to actually reach him, and that's going to basically shut that down immediately. Now, again, we can go ahead and contain to make sure we get that alignment that we want. And then this time we put the linebacker on a flat. Now, again, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here, why the corner being on a flat is better. Because the corner couldn't get blocked because he's too far outside. But as you're going to see here, you know, the DN did his thing. But with this linebacker, what happened is he's on a flat, but he's not far enough outside. So the blockers have the opportunity to pick him up. Now what we could do to counter this, one thing we could do to counter this is to just move him far outside here. And that should, you know, do the trick. 1 second, get him back here. But that should do the trick because he's too far outside. He'll get to his flat zone and boom, you know, make a play. So that's one way you could do it. Another thing you could do, go ahead and press coverage, put this safety on a flat and contain that DN again. And we should hopefully get the same result. And then this should even get a nicer result because Jackson will be manned up and he'll actually be going towards the area too. So we'll just have a lot of guys over there to be able to lock it down between the corner, that safety, you know, the defensive end, and that man-to-man defender that's on the running back as it is. So it's just going to be a lot of congestion over there, and hopefully that'll end up working out for us. Now, again, you're going to want to move that safety down because as you've seen in that example, he got picked up. So I typically will move him outside like that. And then that will actually get the result that we want. So we want that flat far outside as possible. And then that's going to basically cut down that outside. And then that contain is going to shut down the inside. So that's the base. One of the basic concepts for stopping the FL screen, I think, is getting that contain is the one big thing. The first big thing. And that's really to cut back, stop that cutback lane. And then the next big thing is to get a flat from one of the defenders on the outside of the field. It doesn't really matter who, just as long as he's far outside like that. He's going to basically contain that outside and lock that up and basically shut down that FL screen. Now the next step, you know, obviously we could user Wade here, put him in the flat, but if they start streaking the tight end here, what you're going to see is this guy's just wide open. And a lot of people will do this on their FL screens. So we need something to counter that as well. And to do this, again, we have two options. We can just stick with our regular and just put this safety on the flat here and user the tight end ourselves, which we're going to try to do here. We're going to go ahead and take that tight end away, and the flat zone goes ahead and make a play. So, that's going to bottle it up there. That's just the man version on how to stop it. Again, we can go to a cover 3 look as well, or a various zone. You could also run a cover 2. Cover 2 would be perfect. Just to kind of show you the cover 2. I'm going to run one real quick. With the cover 2 and contain this dude. If you don't contain them, they still might get loose, as you may see here. Still might get loose. So I definitely like having that contain still if we're expecting it. But we do that contain, and this should pretty much lock it up since that dude's already out there. And so that'll lock it up right there. You can always do a quick audible cover 2 right here, and then just put this guy in contain for most different formations in the game. So that's one way right there, is with that cover 2. But more common defense is the cover 3, of course. So to shut it down here, what we're gonna need to do again is if you're in a dime, this is already gonna be perfect. What I would probably do is just press coverage and contain this guy and go ahead and user the tight end ourselves. So we go ahead and do this. Got the cover 3, and he's pretty much not going anywhere if he doesn't break that tackle, that first tackle. So the dime cover 3 is a perfect play because this guy is already out here. We don't even have to move him. He's already in that flat. Contain this guy. And if they start running with the QB, you could spy this guy if you really needed to. But, our main priorities, again, are going to be that screen and this tight end streak, and we can go ahead and user the tight end streak ourselves and lock that up. So hopefully some of these ideas help you shut down the FL screen. Just remember the key ones are, again, going to be that contain from the defensive end and a flat somewhere over here. So if we're in a different formation and this guy's the yellow and this guy's the flat, this might work. Go ahead and reset this one time. But before we baseline, the dime, this guy right here is the dude. Let's just go ahead and switch formation so you can see what I'm talking about. Let's see if we're in a 4-3. Just a 4-3 stack just for the heck of it. But running that FL screen. So in a 4-3, the setup is going to be, if you baseline, this safety is going to be the deep blue. And when we contain, that safety's probably going to get blocked because he's so far back. So what we're going to do, run it. So again, you're going to see that contain did a great job on it. And again, sometimes they played amazingly. Sometimes they played a little bit less amazingly. But the whole idea there is, they're definitely taking a chance because that contain can make a great play on the ball. But if he is playing that flat, what I would just do is move him down and out a little bit. You could even move him on top of this guy. I mean, it's going to be a little bit of a giveaway. You might not have as much time, but you may just want to use it as flat and cover it yourself as well. That's one option, is to just, go over here and make the play yourself. So hopefully these tips helped you guys out. And this will help you guys lock down the FL screen. The same concept applies to other formations. There's other makeshift screens you can make and things like that. And, you have to guard them each a little bit different. But for the most part, you can definitely use the same concepts against mostly pretty much any one of them. We're going to go ahead and make a makeshift screen here. So these concepts should definitely help. Contains help against any sort of screen, but these concepts will definitely help against any sort of makeshift screen or anything like that. Trying to make a makeshift screen here. Get a real quick one going. I don't use too many makeshift screens. There are some better ones in the game, actually, that I've seen some people run. But we go ahead and get that contain out there and really just try to lock it down. That contain, again, he's going to do a decent job. And then you're going to want to make sure you got that flat out here more so than inside. And then if they're in a formation like this again, you may want to use another dude even so on top of everything else to help out a little bit. But now that we've got that flat out there, he should do a great job, you know, between him and that contain to slow down the makeshift screen. So, again, hopefully you guys enjoy this. We'll be looking at some more popular plays like the jet slot post or whatever it's called, and, you know, some other stuff like that as well, and pass lead streaks. But, you know, till the next time, be sure to subscribe for more tips, gameplays, and all that good stuff. And leave a like if this helped you out and if you did enjoy this. Till the next time, we gone.